Hello and welcome. So, Legionus Custodes, or the Adeptus Custodes, if you play Warhammer 40,000, is strangely the best value for money army, not just with the faction's ability, like the demons, to be played in more than one game system. It's kind of in general too. The 5-man Custodian Guard Squad is £37.50 and can be up to 395 points in Horus Heresy, or 345 points for Warhammer 40k. That is the single unit box, making a nice little starter to your army. The Combat Patrol box is just as great value, hitting well above the 500 point mark. 2 will easily net you a decent 1000 point Custodes army for Warhammer 40,000. The best value for money would be to make an army for both 40k and Horus Heresy to get more use out of them, which would mean the 40k units are not viable in Horus Heresy, and some of these are really odd choices, like the Contemptor Dreadnought. No, not the Forge World ones, the Games Workshop one. It doesn't have any rules for Horus Heresy. Look, I'll be making 2 lists. One will be Legions of the Emperor, which will have both Sisters of Silence and Custodes, and 1 pure Custodes. Now, just so you know, the game points I'll be using are 40k would be obviously 9th edition, because I don't have 10th edition at the moment, and I'll be using a 40k app for those points, and Liber Imperium for Horus Heresy. Not just reading it straight from, so if they are different through facts and FAQs, this is more of a kind of guide to what the points would be. Now, the pure Custodes list, it would be 1,650 points for Horus Heresy, and 1,330 points for Warhammer 40k at £248.50. You could do 2,000 points for £33.50 less. I will get to that, but I do want at least a bit of variety in this list. First is to buy Trajan Valorous. He is your shield captain for Horus Heresy, and Trajan Valorous for 40k. He is £27.50 and 200 points for both systems. Next is Custodian Guard boxes, 2 of these, at £37.50 each and 240 points for Horus Heresy, 225 points for 40k. I would equip them differently just for variety's sake. The points don't change. Next is Custodian Wardens, again 2 boxes. These were your Hatorian Guard for Horus Heresy, and they come in at a whopping 365 points a box. Now, because of these are plastic ones, you can either use the spear or the axes. Again, I would equip them differently just for variety's sake. Just so you know, this is 365 points a box at £37.50. The Wardens for the Grim Dark Future, they are 250 points. So, if you get a 3rd box, this would bring you up to past 1,500 points, and of course over 2,000 points for Horus Heresy. But honestly, for variety's sake, and this is probably one of the few times you'll do it because of the value Custodes are, I would throw in the Galactus Contemptor from Forge World, which is 250 points for Horus Heresy and 180 points in 40k. But it does cost, like I said, £71. Now, if you're going to do a sole 40k army, I wouldn't do that, but I would get the Land Raider, the Venerable Land Raider, at £55, and it is 265 points, and that tips you to 1,415 points. Again, it doesn't have rules. For some reason, Land Raiders can't be used in Horus Heresy by the Custodes. So there you go. So it'll be 1,415 points for Warhammer 40,000, and it'll save you £16 off the 248. So that would be £232.50. And just so you know, the reason I'm doing this like this as well, with individual boxes, it's just so you can build an army and you don't have to buy it all at once. You can buy it bit by bit. You don't have to splash out the whole whack straight away. And the same goes for the next one, but there is a bit of an extra bonus on this one. Now, the Talon of the Emperor army is a mix of Custodes and Sisters of Silence. The army is 1,230 points for Horus Heresy, but 1,525 points for 40k. I'd start with Valerian and Alea as your 2 HQs, one for Custodes and one for your Silent Sisters. 130 and 75 points respectively. They remained their named selves for 40k, but a shield captain and a knight centura for 255 points. For 255 points, so that's 200 points for Valerian and 55 points for Captain Knight Centura. I just realised how I wrote that. It sounded daft. Now these are £35 for the pair. Next is the Custodes Combat Patrol Box. The Virtus Praetors don't have rules for Horus Heresy. Again, I do not know why. But honestly, you probably get someone who could probably say, yeah, you could use them as the other jet bikes. But I'm just putting at this, as in you can't use them in Horus Heresy, no rules. Just to be on the safe side. But if you find someone who's cool, and a lot of players are, you probably could use them as the jet bikes, which are £45 each. Damn, Portal's overpriced at times. So anyway, even without using them for Horus Heresy, you are still saving £12.50 off the £95 price tag. So Horus Heresy, you will get a squad of Custodian Guards, 2 squads of Sisters of Silence. You need to make one of those a Prosecutor squad to fill in your single troop unit that you need for the allied detachment. So you have your HQ and your troop, and you got that sorted. And that's for Horus Heresy. And the points of this box for Horus Heresy is 370 points. Obviously, again, this is not adding the Virtus Praetors in it. The box points for 40k are 595 because you can use the Virtus Praetors for 40k. So you'll get more use out of the box for 40k. Well, the next buy is another box of Custodian Guard at 240 points again for Horus Heresy, and 225 for 40k, and 2 boxes of Wardens, once again Sartorial Guards at 365, and Horus Heresy at 250 each. Anyway, sorry, 250 points for 40k. Now, one thing I do want to mention with this is that if you build them as vigilators, the Sisters of Silence as vigilators, one of them is looks very similar to Janitia, the main HQ choice. I mean, she looks very, very similar to her in her pose and everything. And I mean, like, that's why we do vigilators. So if you're playing against someone cool, you could drop 4 and say, hey, this is Janitia, my HQ for Horus Heresy, my Sister of Silence, with named character. However you play someone cool, so you know you could actually, it would mean you would save a little bit more money because you'd actually have the main name character. But yeah, that's it. What do you think of these armies for 40k and Horus Heresy using Adeptus Custodes? I do like armies that you can use more than one in more than one game system. They're pretty cool when they're doing that. Like, this is why I like doing Imperial Guard now as well, because I can play them in Horus Heresy. And it doesn't really matter which ones you play as either. Sorry about that. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all again soon. There you go. Thank you very much for watching. Links to Wayland Games down below for up to 20% off your Warhammer, and Forbidden Planet, as well as my comics and my merchandise, and Patreon. And I'll speak to you all again soon. Goodbye.